A truly historic day on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. today. For the first time in over 100 years, we do not have a Speaker of the House. Kevin McCarthy, the presumptive Speaker delegate, as they call it, was not able to garner enough votes today. He lost on 3 ballots. They're negotiating it tonight, and they will come back tomorrow to lay it all on the line. Again, welcome in everyone. Patrick Parsons here with the American Firearms Association. If you're just joining us tonight, hit that like button, hit that share button, comment in the comments section on where you're watching from tonight. I got an inquiry today from someone asking me about Kevin McCarthy. They said, where does this guy stand on guns? What's his history on the Second Amendment? I don't know. We're voting for him for Speaker. Potentially. Where does he stand on guns? Well, I'm glad you asked. And I'm going to lay that out here tonight. But first, I want to check in on a few of y'all who are checking in. There's Juan in Florida, Darren in Ohio, Chris in Rome. My man Ray Blankenship is on tonight. The great Jerry Schreier is here tonight as well, guys. There's Austin in Missouri, Fulvio in New Jersey, Kelly in Western Kentucky, Kimberly in Ohio, on and on and on. Like and share. Pass this around, guys, because your friends might want to know about this. Now, to get right to the point today in Washington, starting at about noon, they had 3 votes on the Speaker of the House. Republicans have 222 votes. The Dems have 212. They vote. They go person by person. You yell out who you support. On the first ballot, I think McCarthy got 202. Jeffries got 212. A few other, Jim Jordan, some other people got some votes on that first ballot. Jordan got 19 on the second ballot, 20 on the third ballot. McCarthy doesn't have the votes today. Will he get them tomorrow? We'll see what happens. It's not looking great for him. But in all this, my phone's blowing up. I've got probably close to 10 chiefs of staff on Capitol Hill who I'm friends with. They're like, what the hell is going on? Filling me in on what's happening behind the scenes up there, which is actually quite exciting. I would say definitely if there was no winner today in the speaker's race, the biggest winners would probably be Matt Gaetz, probably Chip Roy, maybe Andy Biggs. I haven't seen him on a lot of media today, guys. But again, we'll see what happens tonight in the negotiations. But back to Kevin McCarthy's gun control history. So I'm friends and I've supported his campaign before because I like what he does with Congressman Paul Gosar. Congressman Paul Gosar from Arizona. He voted against McCarthy today, but he's a friend of mine. He was in the Congress, the last Congress, when the Republicans had control. It was 2017 and 2018. So the speaker, McCarthy would have been speaker, but because of his affairs that he had with Renee Elmers, they dropped that on him at the last second. He loses. Paul Ryan becomes speaker. Kevin McCarthy is majority leader, 17 and 18. And so we're like, okay, Republicans have control. Let's pass something. So they passed what they call national reciprocity, right? You can carry in any state that is reciprocal with your permit or weapons license here in Georgia. And so what happened, Congressman Gosar, every time I see him, I went out to Arizona and I was on a Second Amendment panel with him out there, and I went out to eat with him. Like literally every time I see him on Capitol Hill, every time I see him in Arizona or wherever else, he tells me this story. And what Kevin McCarthy did, remember, he wasn't the speaker, but he was the majority leader. Okay? That's pretty dang powerful. Okay? What they did, instead of saying, let's just pass national reciprocity, they attached gun control to it. You see how they do that up there in the swamp? So McCarthy was one of the major players in attaching gun control, what's called fixed NICS, to national reciprocity. And they did that in 2017. McCarthy was instrumental in making that happen. Steve Scalise was the whip, as you probably have seen his name bantied about here. And they whipped votes, and they attached, and they told these members, this is the uni-party. This is how the swamp works. This is what happens. They told these members of Congress, they said, oh, if you want national reciprocity, you have to accept this gun control. Well, this gun control fixed NICS is money for the states and everybody else to send the names of people in their gun databases up to the FBI or up to Washington, D.C., up to the ATF. They want to build the databases. Build those databases in Washington, grow them, make them stronger, make them bigger. Why? Because they want your name. They want to know who has the guns. McCarthy was all about that. And Congressman Gosar tells me this story every damn time I see him. And they basically said, you either do this or you don't get the bill. Doesn't that sound familiar? Over Christmas when they had $1.7 trillion omnibus or whatever it was, you either do this or you don't get that. You either put this in or you don't take that out. You see what I'm saying? They mash everything together. That's how the swamp works. And that was Kevin McCarthy. Now, around the same time, who remembers the Las Vegas shooting? The guy supposedly used the bump stock. Bump stock. Kevin McCarthy, you can look it up right now. You don't have to trust me. I'm just laying out the record. I was asked today, say, hey, could you tell us about it on the show? Sure, I'll tell you about it. Doesn't take too long. So, bump stock ban. You can Google it right now. Kevin McCarthy, bump stock. Kevin McCarthy, bump stock. He's all about it. Oh, it's something we need to look at, something we need to do. And so what they did is they pressured Trump, Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell, Kevin McCarthy. They said, why don't you just do it bureaucratically? Why don't you just do it through the ATF? Of course, Trump went right along and said, yeah, we'll ban bump stocks. We'll do a little gun control. We'll do that. Laying the groundwork for a Democrat administration, right? Regulation, bureaucracy, not consulting the Congress. They didn't want to have to do gun control again. So they get Trump. Trump, you do it. You do it, Trump. You do it, man. And he did it. So that's fix Nix for Kevin McCarthy and bump stock ban. If you're just now joining us tonight, guys, Patrick Parsons here with the American Firearms Association. Big day in Washington. No speaker yet. I had an inquiry today from one of our supporters, a couple people actually said, where does McCarthy stand on gun control? So, okay, let's do a show about it tonight. We don't have to get too deep into everything that's going on in Washington. But, yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Period. Game over. End of story. You can't argue it. You can't argue it. Instrumental in passing fix Nix, instrumental in passing the bump stock ban. Guys, if you're just now joining us, let me know where you're watching from there in the comments section. Hit that like button, pound that share button. And oh, by the way, if you've yet to join or renew your membership of the American Firearms Association for 2023, join up tonight, joinafa.org, www.joinafa.org. Get on board tonight as a member of AFA. It's fast, it's simple, it's safe, it's secure. And join up tonight, guys. We'll get out your membership packet, and you'll fight along with us here, not only in Washington, but in Illinois right now, in Washington State right now. We're spending huge cash out there to fight that gun control legislation, HB 5855 that we're seeing in Illinois, and a soon-to-be-named bill in Washington State, which is so-called assault weapons ban. There's Hunter in northern Mississippi. There's Kyle in New Jersey, Ruben in Florida, Ruben in Boston, Angie in Texas. Okay, guys. So yeah, I mean, we're not have a super long show here tonight, but a couple people were inquiring about McCarthy's gun control stance. Go all the way back to 2011. But wait, there's more, right? So what happened in Obamacare? I'm talking about Kevin McCarthy again. By the way, Kevin McCarthy's been in Washington, D.C. since 1987. So it's 35 years. I'm 40, so I was 5 years old when he got there. He worked for a guy named Bill Thomas from California, who recently called him just whatever, just a liar. You know, the lies change all the time. I mean, you know how it is. But yeah, he's been there forever. But in 2011, with Obamacare, there was gun control on our great veterans, PTSD, right? PTSD. They were going to put these people in a database. There was an amendment to strip that out of what's called a CR, a continuing resolution, a 3-week continuing resolution that just continues on the most recent budget, the most recent spending. Okay? McCarthy had a chance to take that out and protect our veterans who had PTSD, who Obama was trying to put in an anti-gun database. McCarthy said, nope, not voting for it. You can look at the vote right now. He voted against it. Didn't want to do that. Didn't want to rock the boat. And I think at the end of the day, without getting too deep into, beliefs or this or that, McCarthy, okay, is he like this big gun grabber? No, but he's just going to go along to get along with whatever happens. And I think as we talk about in the description of the video, is there's a real danger in Washington, D.C. of gun control. You have the Biden administration regulation ready to sign any gun control they can get to his desk, calling for an assault weapons ban. You have the Senate, 51 Senate seats for the Democrats. They would love nothing more than to nuke the filibuster, but they may not have to. There's 10 or 12 Republicans in there who voted for gun control over the summer, over in the Senate. So tomorrow, Mitch McConnell is with Joe Biden in Kentucky, side by side, infrastructure bill, baby. But over in the House, that's where the real danger lies, I think, and that's where whoever the Republicans ultimately coalesce around is their speaker. The fact is that Democrats have 212 seats. They'll soon have 213 seats. They had somebody die. Somebody's going to fill that seat up. But working with moderate Republicans, they could pass gun control in the case of a mass shooting or whatever, right? A massive public outrage that something is happening. We need, because a criminal gangster thug shot somebody up, we need to pass gun control. That's what they say in Washington, right? And so I think there's a real danger there. And with McCarthy, I mean, you can say what you will about him. You can take whatever position you want to, you may like him, you may not like him, you may think he's a good guy, he's a bad guy, maybe a good guy, I don't know. Actually, I do know. I'm not going to get into it tonight. But he doesn't care. It's all transactional. Everything is transactional. There are no friends, right? Everything is a transaction in Washington, D.C. Yeah, I guess there's some friends. They say if you need a friend, get a dog. If you want a friend, don't get in politics, right? But the fact is the danger that is potentially there, just on him. I'm not talking about Scalise, not talking about Jordan, not talking about any other of these crazy scenarios out there, guys. But the danger is there because of a body of work, because of a body of evidence. Fix NICS, bump stock ban, ATF gun registry database. That's not good. And it's also why, and you hear us preaching this at the American Firearms Association, the biggest change that you're going to get, we love the fights in Washington. We're going to introduce legislation. We're going to fight the fight. We're going to mobilize gun owners. We're going to get everything that we can possibly can through the Judiciary Committee with our allies. But the big fights are happening in Washington, or at the state level, in Georgia, in Ohio, in Pennsylvania, in Illinois, in Washington, in Missouri, in Minnesota, in Iowa, Texas, Florida, California. This is where we have the best chance. The uni-party's Kevin McCarthy, it's Steve Scalise, it's all these guys. Believe me, and you know my history, you know I've been there. That's the uni-party, and we know it. That's what it is. And that's where the federal danger. So how do we strike back against that? If you can't break the uni-party, maybe you can. Where do you fight? You fight at the state level. You fight in the courts. You drive the debate in Washington, D.C. on the Second Amendment. You mobilize, you build, you grow, you get ready for the fight, and you get ready to strike when it's time to win. We did it in Georgia last year. We struck and we won. We did it in Ohio last year. We struck and we won. Iowa, Missouri, on down the line. The members and supporters of the American Firearms Association and our state affiliates across the country, we struck. And we're going to keep striking until they shut us down, right? And I think that's what the fight is about in Washington right now when it comes to gun owners. When it comes to gun owners, guys. And it's just the facts. You can get into the personalities. You can get into this or that. But the reality is that politics is all about personalities. People like each other. They hate each other. When you go vote for Congress, now nerds like us, some of us, hey, we really look into the record. But for the most part, it's who do you like? Who do you like? You may like this guy or that guy, or hate this guy or hate that guy. That's what politics comes down to. So if you don't like somebody, you might not vote for them. Same thing goes in Washington. But in our states is where we have the biggest chance to influence and be like the incubation laboratory of political fights and political legislation. Like we're the classrooms, right? We're developing, we're the labs. We're developing the ideas. We're striking back against Washington. We're winning court cases. We're sticking it in their face. And while it may be insurmountable in Washington, you still need to know who these people are. And here at the American Firearms Association, we do have a unique ability to give you insight into some of these people and what they're all about, not only politically, but personally. Could probably go on and on and on about that. But the fact is that the show tonight was about Kevin McCarthy's gun control history. He happens to be in the news, and it's particularly relevant to the fight. There's a danger there. There's always going to be dangers there. After Columbine in 1994, Republicans caved, and they all voted for gun control, buddy. In Florida, after Parkland, almost all the Republicans, Byron Donalds didn't, they almost all voted for gun control. So don't think you're immune because a Republican runs the House. Oh, if we just get this guy or get that guy, we're going to win. No, it don't work that way, y'all. And I suppose McCarthy's having a lot of problems right now because, as my chief friends tell me, nobody's calling to support Kevin McCarthy. And they're against him. And here's just some more ammo if you happen to be for him or against him. It's just ammo. It's just so you know, right? That's why we exist. We do the research. We let you know about it. So, guys, we're going to wrap it up here tonight. I thought it was an informative session here. I'm going to put it on YouTube if you're over there. I have a small but growing following over on YouTube. We have a nice crowd here on AFA. Like we had about 10,000 last night in the previous show, guys. So we love y'all. We thank you for all that you do. We want you to keep up the fight in your backyard, at the county level, at your state level, at the federal level. Never back down. Never give an inch. Join up with people that you like. And we hope you like us here at the American Firearms Association. If you don't, and it's okay, you may not like me. You may not like us. But we'd love to have you on board as a member if you do. If you want to fight with everything that you have and everything that we have, that's what we do here. That's what we've dedicated our lives to. You know who works with us? Aaron, Chris, Ben, Alex, Greg, other people around the country. That's what we do. We've chosen to do that, to fight on your behalf. And we would be honored to have your support behind us. And one way you can do that is right down below. Fight back, join today. Join the American Firearms Association today at joinafda.org. Guys, we love y'all. Thank you for all that you do. Keep up the fight. Never back down. Never give an inch. Never apologize for what you believe in. We'll probably see you tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of fireworks in D.C. You may or may not care, but it'll be all over the news, guys. And it'll be a lot of fun to watch. I'm Patrick Parsons with the American Firearms Association. Give this video a like. Give it a share. Pass it around to your family and friends. Follow us on Facebook and all the other platforms, guys. Get on our email list. We have a massively growing email list all across the country. And we're glad to have y'all on board, guys. Have a great night, and we will talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.